Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics to Death. I'm going to go slightly out of order this week just because I want to reduce the size of this stack before we really get into it. I grabbed the oversized hardcover of the original Coda series. I recently got a new job and I wasn't buying as much while I was unemployed. So money's flowing again and I grabbed this. It's not new. It came out a couple of months ago. But I really wanted this because the series is amazing. It's one of the top 5, possibly top 3 within the last 10 years. The series is spectacular. It's amazing. I love it. It is not uncanny, but I only use Spider-Man adjectives. Also, straight off the top, Arcade Kings, the collection came out, and I believe this is labeled, not here, but in the solicitations it's labeled as Volume 1. I think this is probably all that's going to come out. I would gladly welcome more if the series continued, but I thoroughly enjoyed this. Highly recommend it. It's a lot of just high energy kind of fighting stuff going on, and look at this. I wish that it weren't undersized. But I know Immortal Sergeant is going to do the same thing where they're undersizing it, and I would prefer Immortal Sergeant were oversized, and I don't know what is happening. I don't know if this is like a line-wide thing that Image is doing, but it's not great. Not great. But the series is amazing. Grab this, whether it's the single issues or this. Either way, it's fantastic. Also off the bottom is Where the Body Was. This did just come out, and I don't think I'm doing a separate video for this because I don't think I have enough to say about it. It's great. I enjoyed it. I think some of the back of the book stuff is overstated. This tour de force, it says here somewhere. Tour de force? I don't think so. Masterfully told puzzle by, like, it's good, but this is a bit much. I don't even think, I mean, look, Brubaker and Phillips, their stuff is at the top of the field, right? I don't think this is their best. I don't even think it's the best this year. However, it's still really good. I mean, the bar is already quite high. It's good. I enjoyed it. But other than that, I don't think I have enough to say about it. Thankfully, I wasn't going to flip through this because there are a lot of boobs in this. And there's at least one panel of penis. So, yes, it's a good thing that I flipped to a non-sex page. Anyway, this is what's left. The single issues. And we're going to start with Teen Titans. This is the end of the miniseries, and it's well done. And it's, you know, sort of the sappy, pappy, nostalgia-driven stuff that is ultimately fine. It's not, I don't know, it's not really what I wanted. What I want is Young Justice, or something Young Justice-ish, and this is ish, but it's with that nostalgia tinge to it rather than the Young Justice sort of modern era stuff. So it's, I bought an orange and I wanted an apple. That's what this is. It's still a good orange, and orange is fine. It's a nice fruit. It's just, it's okay. It's solidly okay. Up next we have Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is the second print. Issue 2 just came out, so they did a new printing of issue 1. I'd heard great things, and it's ultimately interesting. I don't know if I'm getting issue 2, because this the story doesn't really start until the last page. It's like all of this is set up for what is about to happen, and I don't think I've really read the first issue of the series yet, if that makes any sense, because everything changes on the last page, which means the second issue is going to change. It's going to be different than everything that was read here. We do get this bear, Sam, I think her name was, and she does, like, it's kind of early season 1 Dexter serial killer type stuff while living a, air quotes, normal life, and then something happens and everything's about to change, and it's good. I don't know what else to say. It's good. This is also not new. This came out weeks ago. I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed. I'm curious about this Visionaries stuff, and I might get more depending on creators or depending on story. What they say right here, I think, is to think of it as a what if or an else world. And sure, I guess. I don't know. Like, it's... Here's my thing. I would have liked for this to be canon, however, the canon is already so f***ed up with aliens, and I'm not really a fan of the Templars and everything that's going on there, and, like, the Assassins should be better than they are, but they're, like, constantly the underdogs, and canon is not great to begin with. So the fact that this is out of canon is ultimately fine, because it tells two great stories, and I will recommend it. So I got it because of Albuquerque, and it's great, but it's Assassin versus Nazi. It's good stuff. And then the second story is a tale in the future, 2119, and then it jumps even further ahead, I think. Does it? There's a weird machine, kind of precogs. It's a little bit Minority Report-ish. But, yeah, there's a machine that peers even further into the future, and then there's this flying phoenix robot bird named Altair, and she has these energy blades, and it's cool, and it looks great. And if you are a fan of Assassin's Creed, then I will recommend it, but it is non-canon, and I don't know if that makes a difference to anyone. Damn Them All, issue 11. This is the suddenly now penultimate issue. So a lot happens here, and a lot is explained, and what is hilarious is Ellie shows up to this guy, and he asks a question, and she spends half the issue she spends a long time telling a story, and he interrupts her at one point because it's all very metaphysical, spiritual. It's this, what is a soul, and what is happening with our lives and stuff, and he interrupts her, and he's just like, no offense, but all I asked is why you turned. It's fantastic. And she was telling a very long-winded story to answer his question, but a lot happens. As I said, a lot is explained. It's well done. I will ultimately miss the series when it's over, because I thought this was going to be more of an ongoing than just 12 issues. I don't know. It's hard, I guess, to recommend the series overall, because I know... Maybe I'll just save that for issue 12, once it's over. Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 12. I was asked at the shop, oh, you're still getting that? You didn't drop it? And I said, no, apparently I haven't dropped it. So I am still getting it. It's okay at best. What happens here is Mantis and Gamora go on a trip to Earth, and they meet up with this kid who's kind of a Darth Maul graffiti artist, and it's Soulstone related because they're gonna bring Drax's soul back to him, and like, okay, fine, sure, why not? So it's fine, and I still half suspect, I don't think the Marvel solicits are out yet for March as of, let's see, January, March? Yes, I'm very curious if the March solicits will say series finale, because I don't think Guardians at this point can sustain an ongoing. It's just going to be a series of miniseries, but we shall see. This is, as I said, it's fine. Sandman, issue 3. Sandman meets up with the anti-Sandman, who I think he names the Fog, although it's got a very spirit feel. I think it's the black and red. Also, Rossmo drew the Spirit. Was that Batman versus the Spirit? He drew the Spirit years ago, but I can't remember in what context. So this confrontation happens, and it doesn't go well for anyone. Because some of this happens, like psh, gas right to the face, gas into the eye socket, like oof, that's not great. And then he gets a taste of his own gas. Oh, I don't think I noticed that before. Anyway, and then this is how the issue ends. Yikes. So probably next issue is going to be heavily dreamy influence, which Rosmo should draw beautifully. I'm looking forward to it. Again, long-standing fan of Rosmo. This series is great. Highly enjoying it. I feel like that's the bad guy right there. And they're living in his apartment. Anyway, this is great. Recommend. The Enfield Gang Massacre. I've been pretty down on this series. The first issue I thought was great. A little bit nitpicky. And then issues 2 through 4, more nitpicky as far as cluing us back into what was happening and who people were and where things were happening, especially with issue 4 and when as well. This issue is, because so much of the cast is now dead, it's much easier to follow and keep track of who's who, and that's a benefit to the book overall. So it's good. It's better, I'll say, than the previous 3 issues, but the series overall of 6 is still not that great. It's interesting, and I would like to know more about the actual history instead of this fictionalized version, but I have a hard time recommending the series based on half of it being not the best reading experience on a monthly basis. I've said this consistently, it will read much better as a collection. If you're interested, wait for that. Lastly, we have Phantom Road issue 7. There's a panel in here. Let me get to this because it's phenomenal. This was my face as well. This? Because this. Like, what? He's got this hammer that might be hard to see, but whew. And then there's another panel later where I think I said, oh shit. It's like this is going on. Settling. Again, hammer. And they're having a conversation for this page, and then out of nowhere, crowbar to the head. Like, oof, whoa. I think there will be consequences for what happens here. But this is the last page, and it's so threatening. Yeesh. Yeesh. I love it, and I want more of it. I wish that this were, I don't know, like a series of trades instead of a series of single issues, but it's so good, and I want more of it immediately. It's so good. And then I think it's going on break soon, and like that's gonna be disappointing, but it's fantastic. I love it. It's great. Highly recommended. So that is everything that I got this week. I'll rearrange things slightly. What I haven't gotten yet is Sakamoto Days Volume 10. I am 9 pages away from finishing this book, and I don't yet have the next one, and I'm getting antsy for it, because I think it came out, but it's just that my wife hasn't received it yet. But a video for this will be coming as soon as possible. So, Arcade Kings is great. This is also great, but they've done better, is how I'll say it. Coda, phenomenal. Of the single issues, I'm saying Phantom Road gets pick of the week. Not you. Special recognition goes to Sandman, also Damn Them All, because despite the sort of middling response that I just gave towards this issue, this series perhaps, this does go a long way toward filling in certain things, and it does tell a good story. The sort of spirituality aspect, I think, goes on for a little bit long, but then it gets interrupted, and that's brilliant. So yes, this is also great, but Phantom Road, pick of the week for sure. This is everything that I got this week. As always, I get my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.